Hi there, it's the BlackBoard Economist, and we have looked at the quantitative analysis of the demand function. We know its form, we know the coefficients, and we have a sense of how to interpret these coefficients. I want to do a little example right now, a practical example associated with using this demand function to measure and to estimate. Here it is. We're going to use the board here to examine this. You have an economic consultant that provided marketing manager in some firm with the following demand function for their good X. And you know this functional form. We did it in the previous video. Now, we just take it out of just being abstract and we have an actual demand function. It says the demand for X is determined by this functional form. The demand for X is being affected by the price of X, the price of some other good Y, the income, and I added an extra variable here. This is A of X, this is advertising. Okay? That affects the demand. Let's put that in. So before we would summarize some other variables, now I'm saying maybe one other variable is advertising. So the demand for X is affected by price of X, price of Y, income, and the advertising. And we want to use this functional form to get a sense of how exactly do we get estimates for the amount of good X that's going to be demanded. To do that, I give you some information. I said, suppose we knew that the price of X was $200, the price of Y was $15, the income was $10,000, and A of X. Can we use this to measure the quantity demanded of X? That's the first thing we will do. Can we measure the quantity demanded of X? So the first thing we're going to do is, how many units of X? Let's do that first. We got some information here. It told you all the different variables. So all you gotta do is pop them in. I'm gonna show you on the board. For the first one, the demand is equal to that 12,000. And we're gonna subtract 3 times the price of X. Do we know the price of X? Yeah, it's there at 200. Plus 4 times the price of Y. Do we know the price of Y? Yeah, it's 15. You get what I'm doing? I'm just substituting the numbers here. Yeah? Now the income here, we have it as 1. Do we know the income? Yes, it's 10,000. And then plus 2, do we have the advertising? The number we have there is 2,000. That's it. So if you could get the functional form of your demand function, you could pop in different scenarios and you could estimate how much of the good that will be demanded. So in this example, I'm giving you some time to pump this in your calculator, okay? And get these numbers in. So pump them in your calculator, get them in. We put in the price of X, we put in the price of Y, we put in the income, we put in the advertising. Yeah? What do you get? I'm gonna do my predetermined number here. Should have got this. So if you could estimate your demand function for X, pop in these scenarios, you could say, well, I'm gonna sell 5,460 units of X given the scenarios that are outlined. Isn't that pretty neat? Yeah? Now something I want you to do, because we did this in our last video, the signs and the coefficient. Remember that? So, this is a negative sign. Are you surprised? No. That's the law of demand. It's supposed to be negative. Here's my question for you. Let me see how much you remember. The coefficient on y is positive, meaning when the price of y goes up, we buy more x. What type of goods are those? Since that coefficient is positive, it's a positive 4. Y gets more expensive, we buy more x. What type of goods are those? Substitutes. Very good. What about the income variable? It has a negative sign. So income goes up, we buy less of the good. Income goes up, we buy less x. That's the negative sign. We get more money, we buy less of them. What type of good is x? Yes, that's an inferior good because we have a negative sign on there. Now the advertising, we're not surprised, more advertising, then people demand more of the good x. You get how to read these variables? You get how to do this analysis? This is a powerful function. If you have it, you could get scenarios in and you could figure out, forecast, and estimate what demand will be. I hope that was helpful. I hope using the board to examine this concept provided some much needed clarity on the use of the demand function. I am the BlackBoard Economist, here to explain things using this board, and until next time, I want you to take care.